السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. أهلا وسهلا. Welcome, guys. Right, so there's some new things here. Subscribe to my channel. Roots of knowledge. Roots of knowledge. Let's see how that comes up. Oh yeah, look at that. Subscribe. It's got a ticker there now. Yeah, what else? Yeah, this is the lower third one. Right, wa alaikum assalam, guys. Ahlan wa sahlan. Welcome. Marhaban. I wish the ticker was a bit slower. It's going a bit fast. Edit. Can you edit it? No. Okay. Hello, my lovely friends. I hope you're well. This guy, check this out. Right, so ahlan wa sahlan, guys. I know it has been a bit too long for our meeting. We need to meet more regularly, and I hope you guys are having a fantastic day. Today is Jum'ah, Friday, and as you guys know, Friday means that we have a live stream, live chat, where I chat with you guys. And actually, maybe I need to bring some of you guys on. I think maybe in these live streams, maybe bring some of you guys on, so you guys can check out. Actually, let me put email. Yeah, oh, that's one I need. Email. So email. This is just something new I've discovered. Email. Learning Dean at gmail.com. Right. And website oruk.com. Right, that's done. Ahlan wa sahlan. Welcome, guys. I hope you guys are having fantastic time, have a fantastic day, enjoying yourselves. Let's put some new background here as well. Actually, put this one. What's this one? Ukraine flag. Everything Ukraine flag. Alhamdulillah, Qazi Asif Iqbal. I'm very good. Thank you very much. Belated Eid Mubarak to you as well. Says, can I read Shia Sitta books? Shia? You mean like the Shia sect? Shia six books. Which books are you referring to, brother? Muhammad Fahim, alaikum assalam, brother Muhammad. I hope you're well. Sarah, alaikum assalam. I'm very well. Thank you very much, Sarah. How are you? How are you on this beautiful day? Wonderful, nice. All this week has been so fantastic. Past few weeks, couple of weeks, I think. Weather has been tremendous, mashallah. And I've been cycling it a lot these past few days. Didn't cycle it this week. I've just been busy with finishing off books and exams. Next week exams. So this week was kind of revision week, and this was meetings and all those kind of things. But inshallah, after the exams are finished, then we have holidays, alhamdulillah. Okay, so 6 books of Bukhari Muslim, I would avoid it. Yeah, because you're not trained in hadith. It's best to avoid, because there's certain hadith in there you won't understand the application of it. So it's best to avoid these things unless you are trained in usul hadith and you've studied the books from someone. Then it's okay. Otherwise, and I don't think you've studied from anyone. Yeah. So this is Friday, guys. Friday. Today we had a Jummah today as well. My topic on Jummah was about. It was actually recorded it, so I might put it up. I don't know. I mean, how many of you guys would actually want to listen to my bayans talks? So I can put those put them up. But today's topic was about the importance of Al-Yawm Akmaltu Lakum Dinakum. Today I've completed my ni'mah, my religion for you. So it's about that. You've gone through but that's just the beginning course. Shall I test you? Okay, I'm going to test you, Ghazi. Yeah, you ready? I'm going to test you. Tell me when you're ready and I'll test you. You've done it with me, so I need to test you, see if you qualify for it. How to control palm sweaty weather? What even was that? So basically, see my palms. I suffer from a condition which is called hyperhidrosis, which basically means my palms sweat excessively when it gets hot, and sometimes even in the winter. And for that, I've been looking for so many cures. Like, I've had this condition from when I was a young kid, 7, 8 years old. I've had it from them, and I haven't found any proper treatment for it. This is the best treatment. So there's a lot of people out there who actually do suffer from this issue. Some people suffer from excessive, sweat from their armpits, from their back, from their stomach, from their chest, and different parts of the body. So this is a condition, and this treatment is probably the best treatment I've ever found. And that's why I thought I'd share it with you guys, because some people out there might be suffering from the same thing. There's now new treatments that you can have. You can have these injections, these 6-month injections. You have these called Botox injections. You have them under your armpit, and then it stops your palms from sweating. Yeah, and some people have it for other types of issues in their body. Yeah. So, ahlan wa sahlan wa alaikum assalam, Muhammad. I am very well, thank you very much. I hope you're well, enjoying yourself. Actually, shall I put it to Instagram? Let me see what Instagram people are saying. Go on live. Instagram. All right, so on live on Instagram now. What is the treatment? The treatment is basically, I've made a video of it. So if you check out the videos, it's like this two small little metal in those kind of containers that you people put food in, the metal ones, takeaway ones. You put water in there, you attach some wires to batteries, and you pass a current through them. And then that current stops the pores in your hands, something like that. Apparently, East Asian people have odorless sweat. Odorless sweat. Whoa. Yeah, so palm sweat is not. It does not have odor. It doesn't have odor. So you sweat from some people sweat from their forehead, from their different types of sweat. Have obviously are different. So palm sweat doesn't have an odor. I don't know if East Asian, maybe, I don't know, you need to do a test or something on that. Ahlan wa sahlan, welcome, Instagram followers. I hope you guys are enjoying yourself, having a wonderful time. Right, so anyway, I've got today my warm water with honey in there. This is coffee honey. This is coffee bean honey. So if you guys have not heard of coffee bean honey, coffee bean honey is basically honey that's produced from bees that take the pollen from coffee plants, whatever that is. Yeah, and it's actually got a very unique taste. Tastes like honey, but if you're like a honey lover like me, then you know the differences between different honeys. Muhammad Fahim, ahlan wa sahlan. Is it better to buy Kutub Sitta in physical copies or to use it on iPad digitally? I think it just depends on your own kind of thing. I personally like the physical copy, but I like the iPad because I can make loads of annotations on there, and then I can delete them, I can save them. So carrying wise, I think iPad is the best. Comrade Initiative, ahlan wa sahlan wa alaikum assalam, ahlan wa sahlan, welcome. NS, can a man, a female dentist, a female hair? Can a man, I don't understand, can a man? Are you saying can a man be a female dentist? Okay, are you saying can a man treat? Can a man? No, I mean, are you saying can a man treat a woman as a dentist, or can a man do a woman's hair? Then that would be no. A dentist possibly, if there's Obviously, there's a medical reason for it, but for hairdresser, no. Do Asufa accept international students? No. You've asked this question a million times, Qazi. No, they don't, because there's too many laws regarding international students. In this country, in the UK, foreign students, I think they've made the visas extremely strict, so they don't accept them now. So unfortunately, foreign students don't come here to study. I'm going through your poetry series, Jazakallah khair. I was wondering if you could elaborate on a particular passage usage. وَأَعْلَمْ أَنَّ الْبَيْنَ يُشْكِيكَ بَعْدَهُ فلست فؤادي إن رأيتك شاكية. So وأعلم أن البين يشكيك بعده. So yeah, this is mutanabbi, isn't it? Yeah, mutanabbi. The word بعده here, does it mean distance? Yeah, so there's actually two versions of this. بعده بعده. Yeah, so if it's ba'd, then it's a dharf. If it's bu'd with a dhamma, yeah, then it means that the bu'd is the file of the yushkika. Yeah, وأعلم أن البين يشكيك بعده, and then if it's ظرف بعده. Maybe can a man have a female dentist? Can a man have a female dentist? Yeah, I think that's what it means. Can a man use a female dentist? I mean, if there is a need for it, if she's a very good dentist and getting a male dentist is not possible, then yes. Sometimes that's how it happens. You go to a dentist, you need an emergency treatment, and there's only a female one available, and your tooth's hurting, then I wouldn't see a problem in that. It'd be possible. Ahlan wa sahlan, ahlan wa sahlan. Ahlan wa sahlan. Instagram. Assalamu alaikum, Zamira. Ahlan wa sahlan. How are you? How is Leicester, Sharif? Actually, I might come Leicester, to eat Jimmy killer prawns. From the woods, ahlan wa sahlan. Do you like mantiq? Yeah. I like anything that's rational, logical. I'm a science guy, basically, mathematics. So if you like mathematics, if you like physics, if you like these kind of sciences, then you're naturally going to love mantiq. Wa alaikum assalam, Inshirah, Sister Inshirah, ahlan wa sahlan from America, ahlan wa sahlan. I am very fond of this series of God. At times I feel greatly inspired by the Islamic themes, but I've spent perhaps too much time. Is there any benefit in watching? I have not watched a single episode. I mean, I heard that it's sort of like a lot of it is just fake fiction. But if a person gets inspired by it, I wouldn't see a problem. But we have to realize that that's not our religion. Our religion is something which is obviously greater than that. So if they do things in there which might go against Islam, then we have to realize that that's just a show. That is not Islam. Islam is greater than that. Do you have any courses online, mantiq? Yes, on my uruk.com. Yeah, so on my uruk.com I have a course. I haven't really finished it. I've done several lessons of it, but maybe in these holidays I might restart it again. Najdi, wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Ahlan wa sahlan, ahlan wa sahlan. Welcome. Salami wa alaikum assalam. Is the khabar of ma marfu ma hadha bashara? Is the khabar of ma hadha? The khabar of ma bashara, you mean? It's mansub. Yeah, this is called ma hijaziyah. So ma hijaziyah is basically the ma that has the application of laysa. It acts as laysa. Like for example, ma hunna ummahatikum. Yeah, so the same laysa hunna ummahatikum, or laysa hadha ma hadha illa bashara. Yeah, so that would be ma hadha illa bashara, as in that illa is actually mulghat. So you would say laysa hadha illa bashara. The bashara would be the nasab, the mansub of that. Ma hadha basharan, yeah. I think poetry is one of the best ways to increase understanding of Arabic, as you only get a taste of the language, but because it's easy to remember, it helps. Yeah, maybe. I actually like poetry and these kind of things because what tends to happen in in people studying Arabic is they go directly to the Quran before exposure to other types of texts that existed in those days. So the more you learn about Arabic in the early days, the more when you read the Quran's going to make more sense. That's what I find. That's why I like reading classical poetry, because of that. And it gives you a lot of deep expressions, how people said things. It's like in English. What kind of sentences are there in English that we say, which are very common, um, that we kind of know just like that? We don't even have to study it. But someone else studying the language wouldn't know these kind of things. Like, for example, I'll see you later. Yeah. Give me a call. Um, you know, so these kind of things I think are very important. Yeah. Watching English daqwa with Arabic sub. English daqwa, what's that? With Arabic subs helps too. English daqwa. What is the hukum of yoga? Yoga, do you mean just yoga as in the exercises, just breathing exercises? Yeah, is that what you mean, or is there anything specific that you do in it? What are you saying there? So I've got my honey tea, guys. Honey tea, nice and sweet. You can hear the drilling in the background started again. Yeah, we've been doing work in this house for the past few weeks. How to adopt the psychology of Sahabas? Get off the internet. Get off the internet and just start to do work. So I think the thing, like when people say you want to be like the Sahaba, what are you imagining? Like, are you imagining in your head someone fighting in a battle? Are you imagining in your head someone, going and spending all their wealth in the path of Allah? So what you're doing basically is you are taking several incidents from their lives and you want to be like those incidents. That's wrong, that is. You want to be like Sahaba, you be like Sahaba, just like the Quran mentions. They do ruku, pray Salat, you're like the Sahaba. Go to the masjid 5 times a day, like the Sahaba. Fast in Ramadan, like the Sahaba. Spend your wealth in charity, like the Sahaba. Be kind to your parents, like the Sahaba. That's being like the Sahaba is basically practicing Islam properly. That's what it is. But when we hear stories about the Sahaba, what we do is we hear those amazing events in their life. And there's only a few of those events. And then you think you have to be like this. You have to like walk around with, patches in your clothes, or you have to live in a desert, or you have to wear slippers or something like that. That kind of psychology. No, Allah does not encourage us to have that approach. For example, Gatehouse Bank Al Rayyan. Okay. So, what do you think about these Sharia compliant mortgages? Are they actually halal? I don't know. Al Rayyan, I've known people who work there and they say it's fine. But the other ones, I don't know, because it requires understanding the terms and conditions and how they work and how they apply those policies. So I wouldn't be able to comment on those. You have to ask someone who's actually very intimate with them, who works closely with the Sharia board. So I don't work with the Sharia board, so I wouldn't know. But I know people who are with Rayyan, and they've said to me it's fine. That's why, based upon what they say, it should be fine. I was thinking recently, when we are young, we are taught English through nursery rhymes, so our first exposure to English was poetry. Excellent. That's a good one. Yeah, definitely. That's a good point. Check out Da'wah YouTubers Arabic. Okay, Da'wah YouTubers Arabic, yeah? Let me go and check that out. Da'wah YouTubers Arabic. Who are these Da'wah YouTubers Arabic? Okay. So it's basically these guys, and they've Arabized it. Okay, it's that Farouk guy. What's his name? Osman Farouk. Right. For example, Sheikh, when will the Arabic podcast? So Arabic podcast is a bit on hold because it's only me at the moment. Maulana Hamza has gone Hajj, and he should be back soon. So once he's back, inshallah, then we're going to consider to restart again. Yeah, so inshallah. Liquor FC, any advice on how to be balanced in religion and have character similar to that of the Prophet ﷺ? Just read as much as you can about the life of the Prophet ﷺ. Yeah. and stay in the company of physical people, real people. So the problem with people who don't connect with real people and they just stay at home or they just online is that they don't have human interaction, and that human interaction, it creates a balance in someone's life, right? So you need to have human interaction. You need to regularly sit with people who you consider to be more pious than yourself. Sit with them and then interact with them, speak to them, and that way you'll create a balance. That's how it all works. Will you ever consider covering a mu'allaqa? Yes, why not? Inshallah, that's the aim. The aim is to get to a mu'allaqa, to cover all the mu'allaqat. Inshallah. Yeah, I would love to do that. But you got to build up to it. That's the thing. Because mu'allaqat, there's certain things that you can't just dive into. You got to build up. Once you build up to it, and then you get into mu'allaqat, then you start tasting like a different kind of dimension of Arabic, different aspects of Arabic that really help a person in understanding, obviously, the Quran. That's the main thing. But yeah, so I always plan to make all my videos at advanced level, inshallah. Yeah, so every video to get to a level where it's advanced. And same with Arabic grammar and sarf and hadith and fiqh. What if sitting with the righteous people isn't an option? At least try to find someone. I don't know where you live, Ilika, yeah, but maybe even once a month, go find someone, sit with them. Very, very important to have physical contact. Like without physical contact, you will not be able to have. I know some people are shy. I know some people are introverts. They're very shy to find people. They find it difficult to go out their way to actually look for people. But like go to talks, physical talks. Yeah, don't just do it online. Physically go and study by someone. Small little things that you can do. Work with a charity. Find out a charity organization. A good, respected charity organization. Work with them. What do you think about using DNA test evidence, Islamic law? There was a scholar who used Surah Yusuf as evidence. No, I would say no, because that depends what you're using the DNA for. Are you using it to establish lineage? Are you using it to establish like a crime scene, stuff like that? So again, it all depends, but it can be used as supporting evidence, but not as core evidence. Yeah, not as the primary evidence. Islam T-shirt was used secondary evidence to prove his innocence. Are you talking about when they took the shirt back and they smelt it? So again, like, look, if there's a story in the Quran, it doesn't necessarily mean that we can take any evidence from that story. So, for example, like let's say in the story of Musa alayhi salam, Khizr, when he pulls the plank, right? That doesn't mean that we can now go and if we think that some house or car is going to get robbed, we can damage it. Someone else's property. No, that doesn't mean that at all. Or we see a child that is, that's really messed up, and we think that it's going to have a bad effect on the parents, so we go and kill that child. So we can't use anything from the Quran to establish anything we want. So this story of when they bring the shirt to the father, that doesn't mean it's not a court scene. It's not Yaqub alayhi salam's the plaintiff, or he's the defendant, or he's the judge. No, that's not that. So everything has to be put in its right place. So, like for example, Ibrahim alayhi salam, he looks at the stars and he says, I'm ill, right? So that doesn't necessarily mean now we can use that as evidences to kind of do some sort of like a white lie or something and say, right, Ibrahim alayhi salam used it, so we can do it as well. Yeah, so we have to use it in the right place. So if our fuqaha knew of this ayah, obviously the four madhabs, they knew of this ayah. So that means that if they knew of it, look up what they say about this, look up how they respond to this as well. So we have to use categorical evidence for ilzam in court. In court, you have to, for ilzam, to make a hukum shari'i, upon a person, you have to use solid evidence. And superficial evidence or evidence which is speculative, then that can't be used. Anyway, it's a big topic. Shamas wa alaikum assalam, ahlan wa sahlan. I'm very good, thank you very much, my brother. I'm very good. Inshallah, jazakallah khair. Inshallah, Ustad, do we have to pay zakat on jewelry? And if so, how would you measure its value? Most stones, diamonds. So I've actually made a video on a crash course of zakat. The summary is, according to Hanafis, you have to pay on your jewelry. You can either take your jewelry to the jewelry store and they'll work out the amount of gold and silver in it, or you can do it yourself and just estimate how much the stones weigh and how much the gold weighs, and then you deduct it. Zaid, please keep Kashmiri your du'as. I mean, inshallah. I actually made dua for them today as well in Jummah. All right. I mean, so you mean, Mufti Saab, that DNA can't be used as primary evidence established had? No, can't be used. Yeah, it cannot be used. Kamran, alaikum assalam. I meant the case of the woman who ripped his shirt, and because it was ripped from the back, hence proving his innocence. Yes, that was a different. So that is, again, that is not a court case, first of all, because we didn't see any court issue there. And likewise, it was not in our deen, right? That was in their deen. He even says things, there was their deen. Like, imagine, for example, the Quran mentions something about something that happens in the West. It doesn't mean the Quran's endorsing it. It just means it's just showing what they did. Whether reaching that decision was a correct decision or an incorrect decision, the Quran doesn't speak of that. Yeah, just like when the king says, "Inna kayda kunna azim," that the women's kaid is very big. This is not, Allah's not saying this. The guy was saying this, the minister. So we don't take from that all women are, scheming. They're the worst schemers out there, evil schemers. We don't take it from that. We say Quran mentions it, but the Quran reports it from a minister. Are there any symptoms to look for if someone is afflicted by nazar? I don't know. I'm not an expert in that. But generally, I think, from my own experience, if you get kind of feel very weary after being very energetic, then that might be a sign. But I can't say. So best to get it checked out. Man Fado, wa alaikum assalam wa sahlan, Mubarak. An illicit child, can he ever be good? Are they a bad apple also? Most people in history were illicit, like Samiri at the time of Musa. Illicit, do you mean like born out of marriage? Is that, I don't know what illicit child is referring to. Illicit as in born out of marriage. How is the book Al Arabiya Bayna Yadayk for learning? It's good. It's very long. Arabiya Bayna Yadayk is very long. And I would just say that, it's something which, if you can do the whole thing, then do it all. But if you do part of it, you're not going to benefit that much. So the whole thing is about 3 volumes. Arfan, wa alaikum assalam. I just sent an email to student support. Could you please reply? Okay, inshallah. I'll try to reply over the weekend, inshallah. Ilikar, alaikum assalam. Jazakallah khair. Gives everyone different trials in life, inshallah. I will try my best to succeed in pleasing Allah and attaining Jannah. Yes, born out of marriage. Yeah, so being born out of marriage does not mean you're a bad person at all. There's no evidence in the Quran or in authentic hadith to say that a child born out of marriage is a bad person. No. If you have nazar, do you have to go someone, or can you? Yeah, you can read yourself. You can treat yourself. Yeah, reading the mu'awwadhatayn, qul a'udhu bi rabbil falaq, qul a'udhu bi rabbin nas. Wa alaikum assalam, Fahmida. Ahlan wa sahlan. Welcome. Instagram followers. Yeah, so that's been my week, guys. Yeah, just enjoying the nice sun outside. Got proper tan as well, sitting, and I actually got tan on one side because the chair I sit on outside, the sun comes this side, so it hits me on this side. So now I have to move the chair on the other side just to even out the color, just so that it looks all balanced. Does that happen to you guys? Yeah, when you guys are sitting in the sun on one side, all of a sudden. So I've been sitting in the sun and my skin has actually been burning. Like, it's been quite hot. And they're saying next week is going to be like a really hot. So get ready, guys. Last exam, mashallah, I finished and it was long paper, mashallah. May Allah put barakah in your studies and put qualifications and your barakah in your ilm and khidmah of deen. Ameen. Mashallah. And a lot of people have qualified this week or last week as well and finished the exams. So it looks like you still got a few years left, Fahmida. Yeah, may Allah put barakah in your studies as well. Government looking to issue heat wave warning for next year. I heard that. So what does that mean then? Does that mean like that there's no work or something? Is it okay to do Rafal Yadain because it is a sunnah if you pray Salah? Yes. According to Hanafis, you can do it, but it's better not to do. Yeah. It's not it's sunnah not to do it as well. So this is where people get confused. Sometimes people think the Prophet ﷺ did do it, but he also didn't do it. So it's sunnah to do and it's sunnah not to do. So this is a tricky one, this is. Yeah. So the scholars have actually written books on things the Prophet ﷺ did not do as well. They say next week maybe the highest temperature ever recorded. Nah, can't be. I'm sure in England the temperature has hit higher than 30, 38. I'm sure of that. Yeah, I don't know. What do you guys think? Because I'm sure it's hit actually more than uh, 38. I'm sure it has. Yeah. Or maybe I'm wrong. Or maybe I've been living in Pakistan for too long. Yeah, over there going over 40 was quite common. What would you advise someone who wants to be fluent in Arabic? My advice would be you want to speak Arabic, then you're going to have to find someone to speak to every single day. Every single day, 5 or 10 minutes a day, speak with them. Yeah. It's never been 40. Are you sure? Yeah, let me check. Let me check. I'm going to Google it and see what Google says. What's the highest temperature ever recorded in the UK? Okay, the highest temperature ever recorded is 38.7 Celsius. All right. 38.7. Yeah, it's never 40. Whoa. Okay, so global warming, guys. Get ready for global warming. It's the small slave is Lord. Ahlan wa sahlan. I hope you're well. I hope you're well, my brother. My brother Spartan. Jazakallah khair. So can you do it like just at home in masjid? Don't do it that fulfilling both sunnahs. Yeah, so Hanafi say it's because the Prophet ﷺ stopped doing it in his life, and a lot of the Sahaba didn't do it. They say it's more preferred not to do it because if it was actually preferred to do it, you'd find lots of Sahaba actually doing it, and the Prophet ﷺ would have done it, told people to do it. So this is why the Hanafi say it's actually sunnah not to do, but if you do it, it won't be like sinful. Is it sunnah then to not pray for sunnah غير مؤكدة of Asr and Isha? It's a good question. It's a good question. So therefore, see, Imam Hanifa rahimahullah, he's very careful in making something a sunnah or making something like a regular act. He'll only make it a regular act if it's established at a very good level. And if the Prophet ﷺ didn't do something like the Prophet, like the Hanafis say, it's considered makruh to actually pray extra nawafil at Fajr time before your fard, because the Prophet never done it. Yeah. But because the Prophet ﷺ sometimes used to pray before Asr and sometimes used to pray for Isha, you can't say it's sunnah not to do. 30, I think, BBC Radio 4. BBC Radio 4. Sadaqa BBC Radio 4. Authentic dalil. What is the reasoning for the opinion that one must do wudu to touch a translation of the Quran? So there's an ikhtilaf between the Hanafis. Some Hanafis say yes, you can. Other Hanafis say no, you can't. It all boils down to, do they consider a translation to be part of the Quran or not? I would say that it would be permissible not to touch. It would be permissible to touch, but ideally, you should do wudu, ideally. The highest was in Cambridge. Fiqh is interesting topic. Yeah. Radio 4, Fihi Nazar. I listen to Radio 4 as well sometimes in the car. Yeah, sometimes they have some strange things on. They were actually talking about menstruation early on, like history of menstruation. It's good, like you listen to these kind of weird kind of cases that came about and history about it. Didn't realize you knew who it was. Yeah, the small slave is Lord, bro. How can I not know you? You watched that too, yeah? You heard it too, yeah? How is planting? Planting is going well, mashallah. It's been quite hot, so I've had to kind of water the plants regularly. And because I can't water in the day, I have to water at night time. So I just received a message today from Seven Trent saying, please don't use hose pipe or don't take too long in the shower. So basically, Seven Trent want my plants to die and they want me to smell. And that's why I've deduced from that message. Mufti, dua of the exam next week. May Allah make it easier for you, brother Aslam. May Allah make your exams easy for you. Put barakah in there. Make it, give you tawfiq. Whenever I'm not watching, I've got that on. MashaAllah, that's it. So rock is at the top. Is it okay to label oneself as a Salafi? I don't know why people do that. I don't know the reason for it. I would say any label that causes people to distance themselves from one another is a wrong label. Any label, whether it's Salafi or Diobandi or Brelvi or Jamaati or this or that. Has the Arabic speaking podcast finished? I'm a bit new to the channel. No, it hasn't. We are just on pause for a while. We're just waiting for one of our presenters to come back from Hajj. How to manage between college and deen studies? I don't know how you guys do it. Yeah, I wouldn't be able to do it. Yeah, I think maybe just ask people who are doing it, see what they say. I studied Islamic studies fully on its own, so I don't know how people balance the two things. How do you find it? I guess Hebrew is a good time for gardening, a silver lining. Yeah, but it's heat in it. That's the thing, heat wave. So you're gonna be dying in trying to plant. Yeah, your little what's it, flowers, and then all of a sudden dying of stroke. I've been staying away from planting because of hay fever. Oh, you got hay fever, yeah. Yeah, sorry to hear about that. When I see people with hay fever, I just feel sorry for them. I always tell them this: go get yourself stingers in the garden and you rub it on your skin. Yeah, I've heard that's supposed to help. When you do it, let me know. He said that Mukashafa is the unveiling of reality. What is reality here referring to? I don't know. What's the context of this? I mean, one meaning of reality, when we say, like, for example, the haqq, like the Quran talks about the haqq, this is talking about the reality of how everything works in the universe. So, in other words, like, what am I? I'm a biological creature made from bones and flesh and blood, and I need food to sustain myself and to be able to, move around, and then I have the ability to be able to procreate, and then I have a mind that is able to. This is like one type of reality. So what happens basically is in your life, you get covered with distractions. Yeah. So sometimes you might, for example, like let's say watch some film or something. You forget the reality, right? You're watching that film for 2 hours and you've forgotten about who's next to you. You forgot about the color of the ceiling, the floor. You're so engrossed in it. And this is what happens in life as well. So in life, interactions we have with people make us forget about the reality of what we are. And even eating a lot of food makes you forget about reality. And once you take away these things from a person and they begin to see the reality of what life is all about, death is something that opens a person's eyes to reality. Yeah, so that kind of, if you're talking about that, then that's reality. This up, can you read Quran from memorizing without touching if you want to? Yes, you can. That's right, you can do that. Stingers is the same, is some form of plant. Oh, do you know what? I don't know. Come on, are you from UK? If you're from the UK, you know what stingers are. Amina, what's up? I was just wondering something. Has not aligning yourself to a specific group like German Liberal, etc., have had any negative effects on your professional life? Do you not feel welcomed? Do you feel not welcomed by certain groups? Of course, yeah. I do have people who say to me, "You don't call yourself Braille, you don't Deobandi, or you don't call yourself this and that," and I don't mind. I'm fine with that. So there are people out there who do kind of like accuse me of all sorts of things, right? Or labeling me, but I don't mind because I'm just interested in just doing my own work, get the job done. Alhamdulillah, whatever people want to say, let them say it. And I personally think that it's much more beneficial for me the way I'm doing things rather than getting into all the politics of what's happening. Yeah. What is your opinion of kashf and ilham? Have you ever known an incident related to it personally? I mean, I personally think kashf and ilham are just natural human. It's just a natural human thing. That's all it is. It's like a dream. Yeah. So just like in a dream, you can see certain things, and then when you wake up, you might see that thing in the day, or the next day, or the next week, or whatever. It's just one of those things. It's got nothing to do with being pious. Kashf has nothing to do with being pious, and it's got nothing. Ilham's got nothing to do with being pious. It's just like some sort of like a there's like a science behind it, but we don't know the rules of that science. Yeah, there's a science behind the kashf, right? They are like sometimes someone's lying to you, and you can just tell they're lying. Like, what told you that they're lying? Was it like the triggering of certain features on their face? Was it their body language? Was it in their tone of their voice? This is what I believe kashf and ilham is all about. Now, ilham, obviously, Allah inspires people. He opens people's minds to certain things, which clearly, Allah does that. Yeah, so that's why I believe kashf is. Kashf is that. And this is why the scholars say kashf has nothing to do with piety. Like, if someone reaches a high level of piety, prays all day and prays all night and fasts all day and goes hajj every year and does all the good things, stays away from all bad things, it doesn't mean the person will get kashf at all. And it doesn't mean he's going to get ilham. Right, next. So when is it okay for a person to sit during salat? If a person finds it difficult to stand, they can't stand, then they can sit. They find it hard, like their legs are hurting and it kind of feels a bit painful, they can sit. Yeah. I'm from UK. Oh, you're from UK, but you know what stingers are. Right, let me show you what stingers are, boy. Stingers. If you just Google it, it comes up. Stingers plants. Yeah. They're called stinging nettles. Stinging nettles. Yeah, so let me show you. Let me show you what it is. Stinging nettles, guys. You guys need to see stinging nettles. All right. I don't know. Maybe are you like young? If you're young, then I understand. But if you're like born in the 90s and 80s and 70s, you need to know what these are. Yeah. Okay, so this is stingers, yeah? These are stingers. See these ones? They're very common. Stingers, these are. These are stingers. Yeah. I love stingers. I actually like rubbing them on my skin. It itches, but I don't know. I've heard it's supposed to be good for your immune system, so into that kind of stuff. So everyone had a nice look. Enjoyed that. Okay, the muhaddathun like Umar. Yeah, again, even the hadith of muhaddathun, it doesn't mean that they're pious. It just means that they have this sort of like inspiration that they get. They get like an insight into things. Okay, is 4 I can hear the drilling taking place. Is 4 salah has only one tashahhud at last? Is 4 salah has only one tashahhud? No, 4 has two tashahhuds. It's very beneficial for us to learn from someone like you, the Sahab, who isn't biased and treats arguments according to their merits. And Allah bless you. Ameen. Jazakallah khair. Ameen. Ameen. Where to find the Shar Ajrumiya you tweeted around a month ago? Shar Ajrumiya. If you can remind me about, I can't remember what I had last week. A month ago. If you can remind me. You learn something new every day, definitely. If you are on the motorway and can't pull over and are a passenger, can you pray follow in your car? If you can, do you have to repeat it? Yeah, I would say you can pray in your car and you don't have to repeat it again. If you want to be cautious and repeat it, that's fine. But I would say you don't have to, because that was the situation that you were in, where you were, you were mukallaf in that situation. Wa alaikum assalam. Ahla wa sahlan. Muhammad Prairie, back from the UK. MashaAllah. How was your trip? You didn't come to Birmingham? I didn't hear about you in Birmingham. You guys can hear the drilling. Boom, 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 boom. Okay, so Instagram guys, I'm gonna go off now. So ahla wa sahlan. If you guys want to continue, then you can come on my YouTube channel. Take care. Assalamu alaikum. Okay, that's done. The sound reminds me of Pakistan. Sounds like a rickshaw. Yeah. Grr, 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 grr. I miss the rickshaw smells. You know, rickshaw smells. Yeah, I like that kind of smell of petrol and dodgy petrol. Pakistan prices gone sky high. Yeah, I know. Yeah, that's how I'm not gonna be. I'm not gonna be going this summer. Ah, I'm not gonna be going this summer. I'm probably gonna be looking at maybe the winter time. Mufti Saab, Alhamdulillah, our religion seems so simple when some of these matters really press the heart, mashallah, Alhamdulillah. Our religion, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given such a beautiful religion, mashallah. If someone asks you what you are, is Deobandi Belvi, and they don't understand, you don't have to be part of any. What should I say? Yeah, it's a good question. So I say to people, look, I say, I am Muslim, Alhamdulillah. I follow Ahl Sunnah wal Jama'ah, and I follow the fiqh of Imam Abu Hanifa. Yeah, and that's, for me, that's enough. So if someone says, no, you have to be one of these, I say, why? Why do you have to? If they can explain to me why you need to be one of these, then I'll be able to explain. And noise getting a bit louder. So that's what I would say. A lot of people don't realize these labels. That's why I think a lot of people genuinely don't realize what these labels actually mean. That's what I personally think. Yeah, so this is why I think when people say, for example, you have to be Deobandi, you have to, like, they don't understand why do you have to be Deobandi for? Why do you have to be Brelvi for? Like, why? What's the reason? If Sahaba were Deobandi, if Tabi'in were Deobandi or Brelvi, it makes sense. But someone says, okay, because they hold certain positions or they have a certain approach in how they do things. But that's not necessarily why you have to label yourself. Having an approach is fine. You don't have to label yourself an approach. I sent your tweet on Twitter DMs, inshallah, if you can check. Okay, let me have a check. Oh, yeah. This book. Actually, I don't know where to get this book from, you know. Yeah, I don't know where to get this book. I actually was gifted this book. Yeah, I was gifted it in a mosque. Let me see if it's got a. Yeah, there doesn't seem to be any sort of like address or anything. Yeah. Or email. Yeah, but this is it. So if you can just take that name, maybe search for it on the internet. Yeah, this is actually in a mosque that I went to give a talk. And the guy in charge of the mosque actually gave me. Right. Nafim. Alaikum assalam wa barakatuh. YouTube content is fantastic. Jazakallah khair, Nafim. May Allah bless you. Just make dua for the YouTube channel. Allah puts barakah in it. Now this guy's come on this side now. Petrol gone from 140 to 280 something. Don't rickshaws will be running yet. Rickshaws actually don't work on petrol here. They actually work on gas. Yeah, they actually work on gas. Muhammad Farid wa alaikum assalam. I understand this is a deep topic, but if you could answer this, what are your views on mortgages? Yeah, ask me tomorrow, Muhammad Farid, inshallah. Yeah, it's a very long topic, and I'm going to be finishing now anyway. Yeah, so inshallah, I'll explain this a lot of times. But tomorrow is normally the day I answer questions. Saturdays at 9th, after Maghrib, basically. After Maghrib, come on. Gonna have to visit Birmingham next time. Unfortunately, they didn't send us there. Subhanallah. You missed out on the Birmingham Sharif. Abu Bakr, regarding Kashf, as mentioned before, if you see a person levitating in the air or displaying what looks like a miracle, do not be impressed with it. Yeah, so definitely. So these kind of like Kashf and these kind of people get impressed by someone doing something out of the ordinary. So yeah. What do you do for Eid usually? Usually Eid Salat, meet loads of people, eat loads of food, visit relatives, visit friends. How to start learning Quran at 13 age. So are you, Amira, are you able to read the Quran, like the words of the Quran? I feel like they may misunderstood and see me as a Salafi. Yeah, that's the thing. So I think that's the problem with these kind of like sect mentality people. If you don't say you're with them, then they automatically yeah. So if you don't agree with them, then they kind of pigeonhole you in like a different sort of like what's it group. Yeah, unfortunately. But I mean, look, if you think, for example, like there's circles, and they're gonna accept you if you call yourself Diobandi. Call yourself Diobandi, that's it. Yeah, but if you think that outside the circles, I don't need to use that term, they don't use it. Same with Braillery or same with anything else. Yeah, so I think a lot of times what tends to happen is these labels, people don't understand these labels. They think this label is tantamount to you saying you're a Muslim, and if you don't use this label, it's like saying you're not a right Muslim. But slowly, inshallah, don't worry, MP. In the UK, this thing's gonna change, inshallah, slowly as things go by. People are not even like I even heard this from Mufti Taqi Usmani. Once he actually wrote Diobandi next to his name, and his dad got angry at him, and his dad said to him, "Take off Diobandi. Like, why do you want to use this label for?" Yeah, because it has the sense of like sectarianism in it. How many tashahud in 4 rakats? 2. It was majaz for gas. Oh, I think the sound's getting to me. Riyaz, wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Ahlan wa sahlan, Riyaz. Muhammad Prairie, what's that sound? Drilling next door. So next door house, they've got workers there, they're doing drilling. And it's that sound. Alhamdulillah, my Arabic is at a decent spot where I can read about it decently, but how can I improve my Nahwu and stuff even more in a busy work schedule? What you can do is online. If you know Arabic, then I would say online YouTube. There's lots of duroos that you can actually. There's a guy called Ibrahim Adham. Yeah, Ibrahim Adham. And Ibrahim Adham, he has lots of duroos. You can check him out. Type him in Ibrahim Adham, and you'll find in Arabic very nice, easy to follow lessons. That's what I would suggest. And if you, I don't know how much Arabic grammar you studied before. I have understood basics of sarf nahu. Can I start with usul fiqh, usul tafsir, usul hadith simultaneously while continuing? Yes, you can, but you might find it a bit difficult. So try it, go for it, see how you find it, and then if you find it too overwhelming, just do bit by bit. Asifa wa alaikum assalam wa barakatuh. Respectfully, had a humble question regarding auto tune in nasheeds and a cappella, not the mainstream songs. This is in the concept of no instruments. I wouldn't see a problem with that. Yeah, I wouldn't see a problem with a cappella and with auto tune. Although this issue of music is a very borderline issue. There's certain types of musical sounds that are fine, like birds, chirping, or a person that just has a natural melodious tone, or background where a person makes those sounds. Do we need a guide, Sheikh? Is this helpful? It's always good to have a mentor in everything. In anything, having a mentor, I would say. If you can get a mentor, and that mentor can help you, like in times of problems of how to resolve situations, spiritual blocks that you have, then that's good. Yeah. And the hammering started. Hammer. Anyway, guys. Yeah. Anyway, I will be finishing there. Jazakumullah khair. My tea has also almost finished as well. So thank you very much, guys, for tuning in. Tomorrow, inshallah, is going to be a live stream and after Maghrib, about 9:45, where we will have live question and answer. So that's dedicated to answering your questions, inshallah ta'ala. Maqam al-Hariri is where I studied until my Arabic has weakened a lot and I'm relearning loads of stuff. Okay, so in Maqam al-Hariri, we did in the 4th year. So I guess you probably done about 3 books of Arabic grammar, two books of Arabic grammar, yeah? Then yeah, I would suggest maybe you can start with my Ajurumiyah. So on my YouTube channel, there's a 25 lesson series I've done on Ajurumiyah. Check that out, and then you can follow it up from there. Generally, I tell people, if people have studied a bit of Arabic before and they want, I tell them to do my Quranic Arabic 17 lessons. So emails at the bottom there. You can email or you can go to the website. And it's a £50 course. You do that and then you fill in all the gaps. And then from there, you start to appreciate a lot of Arabic grammar. Yeah, so you can check that out, guys. All right. Oh, you're doing that now, yeah? Excellent, mashallah. You booked your ticket to Bosnia? No, I'm not. I haven't really kind of thought about going to Bosnia. Maybe in the future, inshallah, I might go, inshallah. Inshallah. All right, guys, take care, inshallah, and I will see you guys next time. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.